Hello, anybody, somebody, nobody. You heard me never see this. Z for Dogs Under Fouls, the Whiff. Come back at you with some more Warhammer 40k. This is actually going to just be a quick synopsis because my opponent scooped out. He wanted to go eat and he felt maybe demoralized because he wasn't doing stuff right. He wasn't pre-set up. He was a little new to stuff. He says he's been playing before, but he's making a lot of mistakes. So I'm just assuming he was actually a newer player. But we had a good game. He dealt some decent damage in with his shooting, but he wasn't a full shooty faction, and a lot of his melee stuff was in deep still. These are just other armies. And I was playing Chaos Knights. My shooting was pretty good, and the fact that he had a lot of stuff within 15 inches, so my Demon Breath Spear was just getting d6 plus 2, which meant it was just auto-killing anything of his army for the most part. Because I just hit all the weak guys in front of me. Instead, like, I should have been targeting the heavy destroyers, but I was like, fuck it, I just want to make sure everything else dies. So I have a massive amount of board control. I got a big points lead. He didn't even choose his treasury shit. He didn't declare any ancient machines, even though he could have. So it was pretty Gucci. He did bracket one knight. Boy, I just spent CP early to give him all better invul save for range. It was a corner-based map, so he was able to actually charge me round 1, turn 1, which is spooky. I still don't, like, a lot of stuff has, well, some things have decent leadership. Most stuff has decent leadership, so it's hard to make stuff fail the dread test. I eventually, I wiped out all of this. I took out his Scorpic Lord. He just got bad saves. It's a 4-up invul, and he had 3 saves to make, and he got a 1, 2, 3. Unfortunate. And he doesn't have any CP. He didn't save any. But I think you need that for a Noble to resurrect. So, because he did counterattack, and he was able to kill my one more dog with his counterattack because he gave him a relic and shit. But it just wasn't enough. I understand why he gave his Locust Lord the defensive stuff, but I'm just going to clear out everything else for the most part, it seems. If he did get the flayed ones in, I don't even know. Because he also chose Protocol of the Dread Strike, which makes sense. But I don't think he thought I could do as much as I did. And he didn't try to focus his guys getting on light cover for deployment, etc. So there was some movement issues. I think if he improved, he would have got maybe a whole night in shooting dead. If he was able to focus his fire more and get more on light cover for over here. This has like no light cover over here. He could just put them on the woods, which would have been smarter because then they could get dense at least and then just fly out without penalty. He wasn't aware they even had fly, so I was like, no dude, they can fly. And so I was helping this guy out a lot with his movement during the match. But yeah, he was just a friend of a friend apparently, or a friend of another person I talked to, I think, and he said he was down for a game. He really liked Destroyer Cult, and this is all he plays anyway for Necrons. He doesn't run any Lords. I think that's really bad. I think it's completely worth getting the protocols instead of just throwing them away. And so we were throwing this. I made this list for him after he sent me his battle scribe after some tinkering, that he's going to play with the new Annihilation Cult AOR rules for Destroyer Cult. And it was interesting. I don't think it's good. I think Destroyer stuff is cool, but like the Army of Renown does not. I'd rather have the command protocols. I'd really rather have those. It's just, it does not wow me. Along with these freaking, I always want to say Crypto Thralls because I love Crypto Thralls. The flayed ones, they're -1, so against anything that's Imperium or Chaos, meh. But for the most part. But some matchups, yeah, it's good. It's going to make my Knights go to a 4-up. But I don't know. I still don't think it's anything to write home about. Yeah, they can get a lot of chip damage in. But it's just, I just think the Army of Renown is just bad. Regardless, I had a good round of shooting. I was a bit tough. If I had worse shooting, I would have had more charged targets alive, so I could get more charge and get closer down the field. I don't think my Knight Tyrant's going to die. He could just come into melee with my Knight Tyrant, and that might debatably be a good move, just to force me to just fire at that one Suicide Squad. But yeah, ironically, I could have had Blast and gone so much more out of it. Alas, it is not the case. So Yeah, I did goof. I would have made my shooting even easier, but he died way before I even finished all my shooting for one of his squads. And the thing is, he does still have stuff in Deep Strike, but what he lost was his Locust Destroyer squads and his Scorpic Destroyer squads. All he has is Flayed ones and Ophidian Destroyers. They are not the same. They are not created equal. So, the big chunk of his army is gone. That's just round one, and so I was okay with him calling it. I was also getting kind of annoyed, so I was kind of glad it was over. I was happy that he let me continue playing stuff out to see how things would play out. So until the rest of my end of my turn. But yeah, it's very, very over. I'm surprised I only have this much. I'm still waiting for everything else to come in. Yeah, but that's crazy because only one single Necron destroyer, Locust destroyer, no, Scorpic, the white ones, that revived Threshers. Nothing else. He was getting 2 6s, 2 6s, a 5 and a 6, 2 5s, 2 5s. Nothing was reviving. It was very unfortunate. And there's a big weakness, which is instead of rolling, if you have a bunch of shooty guns, then like if I shot into them with my Night Tyrant, I know full wipe it. They have a lot of revives to make. But if you just do a couple at a time, that's a problem for them. And so he has to shoot into and melee into something that's higher toughness than he is. And I do incremental shots. Each one is a dead guy. So he was going, unfortunately, into a losing matchup. He did bring it up, and I was quickly to shut that shit down. I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not. That it was like, oh, I picked this army because it's going to be bad, good against him. And I'm like, no, man. I was going to play this, and I mentioned this to you anyway, and you told me I could play whatever. Furthermore, I have a video proof on my last video on the channel that I said I was going to play Chaos Knights for my next game. And so, huzzah, huzzah. So this is it. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish I could have done more, but realistically, it looks like I might realistically table him round 2. If I went first, then this would be possibly turn 3 of the game. Out of 10 turns, he'll just be gone. But at this point, I'll just have so much bloody control. He can deep into that objective, which is good for him. Boy, besides that, I've just got way too much control here. Yeah, I can control that. Yeah, if you like my content, like, share, subscribe. Take care and game on, gamers. Later.